Hey, Shalom Saints, this is Pastor John Tatum again. I was sitting here thinking about slavery, and I was thinking about freedom. And I began to think about these two concepts, or these two terms, slavery and freedom. And I began to think about the children of Israel. And I began to think about, why did they go to Egypt in the first place? They went to Egypt because there was famine in the land. And because there was famine in the land, they went down and, Joseph was there, their brother, and they, reconnected with him, and he brought them into the land and pretty much took care of them in the land. Now, we know that the famine was only 7 years. But we see the children of Israel staying in the land for 430 years. So why would they stay there 430 years when the famine was only 7 years? They wasn't there because of any type of curse. He said he's going to make a great nation out of them and all of that. And the Father did all of that. But why did they stay for 430 years when the famine was over in 7 years? Oh, I know why. Because they got used to the comforts that Egypt provided. They had the best of the land in Goshen. They were out of the city and they were in the country, and they thought that the land, the plot of land that they had in Egypt was okay to be there. But yet and still, the Father had another plan. He called them out of the country in Egypt, which was Goshen, because he had a land for them that was different from Egypt. But the children of Israel stayed there and refused to leave. And the Father had to send Moses to be the deliverer to bring them out of Egypt. And I began to think about, that's how we are here in America. Captivity is over. The exile is over. There's nothing that's holding us as the people of the Most High, the chosen people. There's nothing holding us or keeping us here but the comforts of Egypt, the things that we've got accustomed to. And for some reason, we refuse to let those things go and allow ourselves to be reconnected with the land. And people are screaming, come out of her. Come out of her, my people. Come out of her. But they refuse to come out of her themselves. But what they're doing is flirting with freedom while still serving slavery. I'm going to say that again. We have people saying, come out of her, my people. And they think that means come out of the city and go into the country. Well, hell, the children of Israel was in Goshen, a country, a suburb of Egypt. But that still wasn't good enough for the Father. The Father wanted them all the way out. Just like Abraham was in the Ur of the Chaldeans and went to Haran. But that still wasn't good enough. He still had to come out of that too. So what we're going to have to do is stop flirting with freedom while we're serving slavery and truly decide to come out of her. Because there is a land that the Father wants his people to be connected to. And there's only going to be a remnant that's going to have enough guts and courage to put their hands to that plow and never look back again. Let's stop flirting with freedom while serving slavery. But let's truly desire to be free. The exile is over. It's time for us to get reconnected back to our land, back to the place that the Father removed us back out of because of our disobedience. When we are obedient, He promised to restore us. And the same way He brought us into slavery, He used people to bring us into slavery, is the same way He's going to bring us out. He's going to use His people, messengers, with the message of return back to the land. Be encouraged today. Shalom, shalom.